Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Labor Day Monday. I hope your day and your week are off to a fantastic start. We've got a new day, which of course means a new MLB Player Prop video to share with you guys. But first, as always, people, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. We've got a solid MLB slate here on our Labor Day Monday, and I have 5 picks to go ahead and share with you guys. But first, before we dive into today's picks, a quick little recap of how we did last week. Now, only 3 videos last week, guys. I do apologize for that. I had a little bit of a family emergency going on, and unfortunately, I could not record many more videos. Also, on top of that, my computer shit the bed, so a little bit of a rough week from me over here. But overall, from a pick standpoint, not terrible. 6-5 overall. Our 4-0 sweep on Tuesday did save us from having a losing week. Overall, it's an okay week. I think we can do a lot better than 6-5. And I think our record on the season proves that. 136-92 prop record this year. I think we do way better than 6-5, and I'm very confident we're going to do better this week. And again, guys, I do apologize for only 3 videos last week and not really much of a notice. I was deciding if I even wanted to talk about it, but my grandmother in Greece, she's been battling stage 4 lung and liver cancer for the past 6 years. They had only given her 1 to 2 years. We are now in year 6. So it's a blessing from God and a miracle that she's even still here at this point. But things are starting to take a turn for the worst in Greece. My dad's already getting on a plane to go over there right now to be with her. Things are a little bit rough right now at home for me. So I do apologize for that, for no videos. I know you guys aren't here for my personal life. You're here for the picks. So I wanted to give you guys a reasoning as to why last week we didn't have too many videos. So I ask is your patience to bear with me. Again, if things keep getting worse, we might have to take a little bit of break here. We'll see how things go. But just letting you guys know the situation so you're aware of why sometimes maybe I don't have a video every single day. By the way, shout out to Jeanette Silva 8506 who won the free Amazon gift card contest from Wednesday's video. We haven't had a video since Wednesday, so I couldn't announce the winner just yet. But congrats to Jeanette Silva 8506. We will be in touch to get you that free Amazon gift card. And because I'm trying to bring some goodwill and some blessings and some prayers for my grandmother's health, I am doing another contest here. If you guys comment Yaya down below, YIA, I will pick one lucky commenter for a free $10 Amazon gift card. I know you don't know her, but for those who maybe are religious or you're not religious, keep her in your thoughts and prayers. That would really mean a lot to me. And again, for one lucky commenter, I will go ahead and give a free $10 Amazon gift card. All right, guys, let's get excited, though. It's Labor Day. It's a holiday. You guys are here for the picks. Let's dive into today's picks. 5 picks coming at you. We are jumping right into the Outlier screen here, guys. Shout out to Outlier, the best sports betting tool on the market. We do have a special link down below in our description that gives you guys a 7-day free trial to check it out for yourself. Guys, I tell you all the time, if you want to make money in the sports betting landscape, you got to have the right tool by your side. And Outlier is the best tool that money can buy. And the best part about our offer is for the first 7 days, you don't got to buy it. It's free. First 7 days free when you use the link down below. Guys, it consolidates all the data that you need to make smart sports betting choices. If you've watched my videos before, you know what Outlier can do for you. So go ahead and give it a try. Special thank you to Outlier for sponsoring today's video. One more time, link down below, 7-day free trial. Do check it out for yourself. All right, guys, the first of 5 picks in today's slate. We're going with the Cardinals-Brewers game, 2:10 p.m. first pitch. We're going Paul Goldschmidt of the St. Louis Cardinals over half a total base. We're getting that from -130 on Bet365, -140 on DraftKings, -145 on Caesars, and -155 on Underdog. As always, guys, please make sure to shop around for the best sportsbook odds available. And all right, guys, at first glance, the data is pretty solid on this prop. You see 9 of his last 10 games, including 8 straight games, Paul Goldschmidt has cashed this over. He's averaging 2.6 total bases per game over his last 10 games. Even if you go ahead and stretch the data out to the last 20, it's pretty solid. 75% hit rate, 15 of his last 20 games. He's cashed the over, averaging 2.1 total bases per game. He's been cashing this all season long, a 66% hit rate on this over this year. 86 out of 130 games, he's managed to cash the over with an average of 1.62 total bases per game. And if all that wasn't good enough for you, the head-to-head data is really solid as well. 10 of his last 19 matchups versus the Brewers, he's cashed the over. It's a 53% hit rate, an average of 1 total base per game. Looking at the insights provided by Outlier, again, we just mentioned this, but Paul Goldschmidt has exceeded half a base in 8 straight games, an average of 3.1 bases per game average over his last 8 games. Looking at the matchup stats, we have actually a pretty amount of sample size, pretty decent sample size, I should say here, versus Freddie Peralta of the Brewers. 33 plate appearances since 2018 for Paul Goldschmidt. He's batting .267 off of Peralta, not bad at all, with a 333 OBP, 600 slugging, 8 hits, 18 total bases, and a whopping 6 extra base hits off of Peralta. And I'll be honest, the data looks great until you get to the matchup stats. It's not terrible. I like better, but it's still overall not bad. Goldschmidt's batting 244 this year. That number does drop to 229 versus right-handed pitchers. And across the board, again, it's decent, 36.4 extra base hit percentage. You do see a slight drop in his BABIP, but looking at Freddie Peralta's numbers, 3.70 ERA. Now that does increase to 4.52, which obviously is good for us. His batting average allowed does increase to 2.36, again also good for us, but 2.36 is still a pretty low number. I like that to be a little higher. The good thing, his slugging percentage does increase to 4.08, which is pretty good, and a slight dip in his extra base hit percentage to 31.7, but I'm not too concerned. Overall, the data is pretty good. Goldschmidt's been cashing this all year long. He's batting 267 off of Peralta since 2018. For minus 130 odds, minus 140 odds, depending where you're getting this, I think it's a pretty good prop. All right, guys, for the second pick of today's slate, we're moving on to the White Sox-Orioles game. 3:05 p.m. first pitch. We're going Dominic Fletcher of the Chicago White Sox over half a strikeout. We're getting that for minus 130 on BetMGM, minus 135 on DraftKings, and minus 137 on PrizePicks. And again, the recent data is pretty solid here for Dominic Fletcher. You see here, 8 of his last 10 games, he has cashed the over. It's an 80% hit rate with an average of 1.1 strikeouts per game over his last 10 games. So far in 2024, a 67% hit rate on the over. 34 out of 51 games this year, he's managed to cash the over with an average of 0.82 strikeouts per game. Not a ton of head-to-head data, but the head-to-head data is pretty solid. You see each of his last 2 matchups versus the Baltimore Orioles, which happened this year. He did cash the over. He struck out in both of those games versus Baltimore. The insights provided by Outlier. Dominic Fletcher has exceeded half a strikeout in 8 of his last 10 games, average of 1.1 strikeouts per game. Again, we just mentioned that. The key matchup stats here versus Corbin Burns. Dominic Fletcher this year is batting 222. You do see a slight increase to 226. We're not too concerned about that. His strikeout rate is really high, which is really good for us. You do see his strikeout percentage 25.8% versus right-handed pitchers. That's really, really good for us. Not so much for Dominic Fletcher. His walk percentage drops to 3.8. Again, really good for us. And look at the matchup versus Corbin Burns. You do see a slight decrease in his strikeout percentage from 22.3 to 20.1, but still, anything over 20% is pretty darn good, especially when you're going up against a batter with a nearly 26% strikeout rate. Really solid prop here. All right, guys, our third pick of today's slate, moving on to the Red Sox-Mets game, 7:10 p.m. first pitch. We're going Francisco Lindor here of the New York Mets over 1.5 total bases. This is a plus money play, available plus 125 on Bet365, plus 123 on Caesars, plus 115 on DraftKings, plus 109 Underdog, plus 105 FanDuel, and plus 100 on PrizePicks. And again, the recent data is pretty good on this prop. You see 7 of his last 10 games, he has cashed the over, an average of 2.9 total bases per game over the last 10 games. Even if we go ahead and we stretch that data out to the last 20 games, it's pretty solid. 14 of his last 20 games, he's cashed the over, an average of 2.95 total bases per game over his last 20 games. Now, so far in 2024, not fantastic overall. 47% hit rate, a little on the lower side, but not terrible. 64 out of 137 games this year, Francisco Lindor has cashed the over. It's an average of 2.01 total bases per game, which is pretty good average. And the head-to-head data is not fantastic. You see each of the last 3 matches versus Boston, he cashed the under. Those are all last season, though, however. None of them are from this year. But the recent data, I think, is pretty impressive. One of my lights just went out. I don't really know why that happened. We've had a lot of technical difficulties on the show over the last week or so. We got a new computer. Maybe we're going to need some new lights coming in soon as well. It's been one thing after another, guys. That's just kind of been the last couple weeks for me. All right, look at the key matchup stats down below. Francisco Lindor, 269 batting average overall this year. It shows red, but it's the same thing. It's literally the same number versus right-handed pitchers. You do see his BABIP does increase from 290 to 303, which is pretty good. Slight dips in his ISO and extra base hit percentage, but still 39.6, not too shabby. And look at the matchup versus Brian Bello here. He's not having the best of seasons, especially versus left-handed batters. You do see his numbers across the board increase, and they're pretty favorable for us. You see 5.04 ERA versus left-handed batters, 264 batting average allowed, a 469 slugging percentage, which is really good, and a 41.7% extra base hit percentage. Although we do see a couple of slight dips in Lindor's numbers, we do see increases across the board in Brian Bello's numbers. So that's really good for us. For a plus money play, I think the data across the board is really solid for this prop. All right, guys, and for our fourth pick of today's slate, we're going with our second plus money play of the video. Moving on to the Pirates-Cubs game, 7:40 p.m. first pitch. There goes the light again. Yeah, so the lighting's going to be a little bit off for the rest of the video. I've never seen this happen before, but the plug-in for the ring light literally melted the cord. It got so hot. I didn't even realize how hot it was. It got so hot that it literally melted the USB cord. I'm surprised a fire didn't just start. What the fuck? Like I said, guys, it's been one thing after another. Life's kind of been kicking me in the nuts lately. Hopefully, we can at least keep winning our picks. That's the only positive. I've been doing pretty good with the picks of late. But Jesus Christ, give me a break. All right, fourth pick of today's slate. We got Ian Happ over 1.5 total bases. Again, plus 175 on FanDuel, plus 175 DraftKings, and plus 100 on Prize Picks. You do see 8 of the last 10 games he's cashed the over, so pretty good recent data here. 2.6 total bases per game over the last 10 games. Even if you go ahead and search to the last 20 games, it's pretty solid. 12 of his last 20 games, he's hit the over, 60% hit rate, and an average of 2.45 total bases per game. 2024 so far, not fantastic. You see a 41% hit rate on the over, 53 out of 130 games this year. He's cashed the over, but still an average of 1.68 bases per game. And the head-to-head data is pretty solid. 13 of his last 23 matchups versus the Pirates, he has cashed the over. It's a 57% hit rate with an average of 2.39 total bases per game, including each of his last 3 matchups versus the Pirates, he has cashed the over. So pretty solid data for a plus money play, if you ask me. Again, you have the insights provided by Outlier. Ian Happ has exceeded half a base in 6 of his last 7 games, an average of 2.7 bases per game average over that 7-game span. Look at the matchup: Ian Happ versus Jared Jones. Since 2018, 9 plate appearances overall. It's kind of a small sample size, but he's had a few plate appearances. 333 batting average, 7 total bases off of Jared Jones since 2018. And you see a lot of red here, but really the number that really strikes out to me is this extra base hit percentage. You see Ian Happ, 52.9% extra base hit percentage versus right-handed pitchers, and Jared Jones versus left-handed batters, 52.6%, both over 50%. That's a recipe for an extra base hit. Now, the problem is that Jared Jones is only giving up a 212 batting average versus left-handed batters. It's a little concerning. And then Ian Happ's only hitting 237 off of right-handed pitchers. It's plus 175 for a reason. Very risky bet, but if he gets a piece of a ball off of Jared Jones, I expect it to be an extra base hit. So I really do like this for plus money play. The data is pretty good across the board. Again, the matchup stats are not fantastic, but the extra base hit percentage allowed and the extra base hit percentage for, both really high. I think this could be a really solid hit. All right, guys, in our 5th and final prop from today's slate, we're looking at O'Neal Cruz of the Pirates. Still from the same Pirates-Cubs game, we're going O'Neal Cruz over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Available on DraftKings minus 110, BetMGM minus 110, Prize Picks minus 119, and Underdog minus 120. He has cashed this over in 8 of his last 10 games, an average of 2.7 hits, runs, RBIs per game average over those last 10 games. Even his last 20 games, pretty solid, 60% hit rate. 12 out of 20 games, he's cashed the over, average of 2.05 hits, runs, RBIs per game. So far in 2024, 49% hit rate, but just shy of half of the time. 60 out of 122 games this year, he's cashed the over, averaging 2.09 hits, runs, RBIs per game. Pretty good average. And the head-to-head data is pretty solid as well. 6 of his last 9. Very nice. He has cashed the over versus the Cubs, an average, a 67% hit rate with an average of 2.89 hits, runs, RBIs versus the Cubs, including each of the last 3 meetings this season. He's cashed the over. So pretty good recent data there for O'Neal Cruz versus the Cubs. Looking down below, the insights provided by Outlier, O'Neal Cruz has exceeded 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs in 6 of his last 7 games, an average of 3.1 hits, runs, RBIs per game average over the last 7 games. Look at the head-to-head matchup versus Jamison Talon. Guys, you know I suck with names. Versus Talon of the Cubs. 8 plate appearances in 2018. Now, no hits. No hits off of Talon since 2018. Not very good there. But the data down below paints a pretty good picture, I think, although the individual head-to-head's not great. O'Neal Cruz is batting 287 off of right-handed pitchers this year, so his numbers overall at 274 is solid. It gets even better versus right-handed pitchers at 287. And then looking at Talon, his numbers all increase across the board when going up against left-handed batters. 4.48 ERA, 270 batting average allowed, 1.6 home runs per 9. His OBA is at 337. So across the board, you see his numbers increase, and then O'Neal Cruz's numbers also increase. So I know the individual head-to-head data versus Talon is not fantastic, but it's a little bit less than 10 plate appearances. It is a smaller sample size. We'd like it to be a little bit better, but overall, I think this is a solid prop. For minus 110, I'm riding with it. All right, guys, so that is it for today's video. Those are all 5 picks. Quick little recap. Ian Happ over 1.5 total bases. O'Neal Cruz over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Dominic Fletcher over half a strikeout. Paul Goldschmidt over half a base. And Francisco Lindor over 1.5 bases. This page here will be available through the link in the description. I'll also put it down in the pinned comment as well. So, guys, that does it for me today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, guys, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. I really do appreciate you guys. And one more time, comment yeah for a chance to win a free $10 Amazon gift card. Appreciate your patience, everybody. I know I'm Mr. Inconsistent, but it's been a really rough couple weeks for me here. And, I look forward to doing the videos. The videos have been kind of my escape from everything. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the love and support. Apologies again. I wish I could be more consistent, but sometimes life just kind of sucks and you got to just roll with it. So please keep my grandmother in your thoughts and prayers if you could. I really would appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow. I will 100% be back tomorrow with another MLB Player Prop video. Until then, guys, I hope you're all winners. Enjoy your Labor Day. Enjoy your day off. Enjoy the holiday. We'll see you tomorrow.